I guess I'm gonna have to start doing my videos at a weird time or something because it seems like every time I try to do one, I get a random phone call from somebody. Um, sorry, so this is gonna be another two-part again. But anyway, so when you stop and you kind of realize the differences between what you do and the risks that somebody else may have in their life. I mean, if you stop and think about it, it really may not be as bad as what you think it is. Okay. And if it stresses you out that bad, again, why don't you do something to change something at your job to alleviate that stress level? Find somewhere different, find a different way to do your job that still gets the job done. You know, whatever the case is, find a way to alleviate that stress. Because I'm telling you now, guys, if you continue down the path that you're on, keep yourself stressed out with the way your job is, it's gonna affect you. Okay, you're gonna wind up bringing it home with you. You're gonna wind up. It's gonna affect your relationships. It's gonna affect your relationship with you and maybe your wife or your girlfriend or whatever. It's gonna affect your relationship with your kids. It's gonna affect your health. Okay, I mean, there's so many things over time that it's going to wind up screwing up that you don't realize now if you don't change something immediately when you first get the chance. So, guys, gals, if your job is that rough, figure out a way, do what you can to try to change something. Hell, come to find out, and I've read this before somewhere, I don't remember, but we as humans, we like routine. But then again, in the same sense, we also hate it because we feel trapped. We like routine because we don't like change. So you've got a set route. You get up, you have a set way. You don't even realize it anymore. I guarantee you wake up, you have a set way you do things. You wake up, maybe you go to the bathroom, or maybe you make coffee, or you have a set way of doing things. You get dressed, you go out the door, you get in your vehicle, you drive to work through the same route. You go to work, you do the same thing at work. Whatever the case is, what I'm getting at is change something up about it. And when you wake up, go ahead and do your thing, get dressed or whatever, but change your route to work. Drive through a different part of the area that you're in. Just that little bit of change, you'll be really surprised that subconsciously it can actually make a big difference in how you look at your workday. Okay. Like me, if I live less than a mile from my job when I moved to this apartment. So, I mean, if I was that disgusted with my job and I wanted to change something, I was so sick of the routine, so there's no sense in me not being able to leave the house a little earlier and go drive off through somewhere else and come around the other side of the city and come in from that way, just to see a different part of the sites, Or maybe go take some roads that I have never been down that I know will lead back to where my destination is. Change something up. When you get to work, you have a routine of how you get yourself prepped and set up before you start work. Change it up. Do something different with it. You have a set way you do things throughout the day. Change them up. Change the way you do your paperwork. Change the way you go out and you do the work that you do. Say you work with your hands. You're like me and maybe you're doing something in maintenance or something. Change the way you do your work. Change the priorities that you do your work in if you can. I know some things take precedence over others because they're safety matters, but I mean, if you have like 3 or 4 jobs and they're all just, something somebody's fussing about, instead of doing it by who you think needs to be done first, do it by, I don't know, ease access. Do it by how challenging the job is. Whatever the case is, change your routine up. Okay, don't get into the same old grind, same, and then that way you can just fuss about it later. I mean, because I'm telling you guys, you think it's aggravating for you. Try being everybody else that has to see how much you complain. Okay. Like I said, there comes a point in time where it stops being a cry for help and it's just listening to you complain, moan, and bellyache. I mean, it gets old so quickly. Because in all reality, you got to look at it this way. When you're complaining about your job constantly, my thought goes into the idea like, well, you applied for the job, you went and interviewed these people, they offered you the position. Nobody put a gun to your head and told you have to work here. You volunteered to work at this place. It's your fault. So don't gripe and complain and moan and groan for a job that you chose to do. Drop the can here. Plain and simple. I mean, if you don't like it, change it. Stressing out over a job. There's so many more things in life that you could be stressing over. Hey, y'all, quit. Oh, a minute. Cats are fighting. Leave her alone. Anyway. But there's so many things in life that you could be stressing over. Not that you should stress over, because nobody should stress, but there's so many other things in life that should take precedence over that. The place where you go for employment to earn a paycheck should not be one of them. Okay. Like I said, don't fall into that trap that a lot of people seem to do, and start getting to the point where you just. And there is a total difference. Let me tell you something, guys. There's a total difference in not liking your job because you have to do something, because you have to work, or because you maybe have to, maybe you have to work with somebody that you don't like. That's not a legitimate reason to hate your job and to stress out about it. Okay. Excuse me. That's really not. People, because no matter where you go to work, you're going to find that one coworker that you just can't get along with. Why? Because we're human. It's going to happen. So don't leave just because, or don't stress over it, and don't complain about it just because it's you don't like doing it. What? Okay. Like I said, work is not supposed to be fun. Okay. But if you legitimately just don't feel like that's what you're supposed to do with your life, okay, there's a difference there. But don't be that guy. Don't be that girl. Don't be girl, that guy, whatever the case is. Don't be that person that gets all over social media and just complains and complains and complains and complains and complains and complains, because it gets so old. Listen to. And the thing about it is, people are like, well, why don't you just delete them so you don't, you ain't got to look at it. You're right, I don't. But I mean, a lot of the people that I see it's from are people that I consider friends. I mean, I don't want to not be their friend just because I don't like seeing what they have to say half the time. I mean, it's not the case. It's a matter of respect. It's a matter of, if I can respect you enough to not remove you from my life as a friend of mine just because I don't want to see something, you should have respect enough to not fuss and complain all the time over some, without having some sort of legit reason. But anyway, guys, that's really all I got for this video. It's kind of short, I know, but that's really all I got about it, because it's pretty simple, pretty to the point. But anyway, don't be stressing about something that you shouldn't have to worry about. If you don't like something, change it. If you don't like your job, change it. It's pretty cut and dry. But anyway, guys, excuse me, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Again, if you could, just give me some feedback in the comments section. Go follow me on Facebook and give me some feedback through there. Subscribe, hit that subscribe button down below. So that way you'll always be able to catch a video every day when I put it on. Anyway, guys, I want to just say I appreciate everything. Everybody have a good day. Everybody have a blessed day. And until next time, peace out, Girl Scouts.